Right back at it here on the early line. Look, we talk a lot of stuff, a lot of hot topics here, but sometimes we need some professionals to come in and help us out when we talk the NHL. It's Donnie Wright side, it's Davis Maddon, and now we welcome in Joe Madden on a big day in the NHL. Why? Because it's the final day of the regular season in the NHL. Joe, how are we feeling this morning on a Thursday?
Feeling really good. We had an amazing night last night on the ice with only those 4 games out there. The Arizona Coyotes finished it up in Arizona at Mullet Arena with a huge win over the Edmonton Oilers. But we still have 6 games today. 2 of these games really meaningful. Another meaningful for Western conferences if these teams match up. So super excited for the action on the ice today.
Great stuff all the way around. Thanks for joining us to help us out here. And also saw the retweet yesterday. Great night on the ice. A lot of plus money tickets coming through. And as you said, 6 games on the card tonight. I want to ask you this question. As an NHL handicapper, how do we approach the final day of the season? Things wrapped up just about for everybody here. Are there advantages that you can find out? The motivation? How do we approach tonight's games here as a whole?
You've got to be super careful looking at some of these games because you don't know how these teams are going to come out. A lot of these teams are going to rest their players going into the playoffs with the playoffs starting this weekend. They don't want to risk injury. So you have to be careful in those situations. But you also have to look at the teams that still have something left. We know the Vegas Golden Knights still have a reason to fight tonight, as well as the LA Kings. But we also look at the matchup between the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. Those 2 teams determine who wins this one. If they match up in the Western Conference Finals, who will get that home ice advantage? So there's still a lot to play for those teams, but a lot of these teams, you need to listen to what their head coaches are saying with them going into the playoffs. If they're looking to push going into those playoffs, or if they're just looking to cruise into the playoffs and not risk those injuries.
All right, we've got a big board tonight. Oilers at Avalanche, Canucks at Jets, Ducks at the Golden Knights, the Seattle Kraken at the Minnesota Wild, the San Jose Sharks at the Calgary Flames, Blackhawks at Kings. Which of these games are super important for the standings? Do we have any plays for these games? Where is your TV going to be on tonight?
Yeah, the last 2 games of the night really matter for the Western Conference. So right now, the Vegas Golden Knights are sitting 3rd in the Pacific, but the LA Kings are just 1 point behind them. For the LA Kings to take that 3rd spot in the Pacific, Vegas needs to lose tonight, and the LA Kings just need that 1 point because they do have the tiebreaker wins in regulation. So if the Kings push it to overtime, get that point, and Vegas loses, they will be able to clinch that 3rd spot in the Pacific. Now, do they want that is another question mark. They've been eliminated by Edmonton, it seems like, each and every season going into those playoffs in that first round. Edmonton kicks them out. So we'll see here if they want the Dallas Stars more. What I do think is you look at here is how Vegas does coming out versus the Ducks. I think we have Vegas coming out nice and strong. They want to hold that 3rd spot in the Pacific, I do believe, and then face the Edmonton Oilers over getting the Dallas Stars because the Dallas Stars will be harder competition there. The Anaheim Ducks, though, are a huge dog on tonight's slate. So you're going to have to lay a lot of juice here if you want to bet Vegas. I think you look at them in the first period. That first period puck line laying a half goal, you're getting that at -104. I would also look at their team total over 1.5 in the first period if you're searching for plus money. I could see them getting 2 goals in the first period and then locking down on the defensive side. So that's coming in at plus 188. When we look here at the LA Kings, I think another way to take this one is to look at them again in the first period. If Vegas is losing into when the LA Kings are in that 3rd period, the Kings know they just need that 1 point so they could push it to overtime. I think it's a live betting opportunity when you look at it because the LA Kings won't want to get hurt. If the Ducks take down Vegas, the LA Kings just need an overtime point to be able to clinch the 3rd in the Pacific. So I think a live betting opportunity to come back in on the Chicago Blackhawks on the puck line. But I am going to look pregame going into this one. The LA Kings first period puck line that's coming in at -102, laying that half a goal. I think they come out strong, get a nice goal on Peter Mrazek, and then try to hold this lead.
Six-pack on the ice tonight, talking with Joe Madden, NHL, coming right down to the stretch tonight, final game of the regular season. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. Before we look at the odds market to win the East, some of the matchups are certainly intriguing here. Rangers, Capitals, Panthers, Lightning, Bruins, Maple Leafs, Hurricanes, and the Islanders. Without picking, let's just say, series victories per team here, which series or two that you're looking forward the most here in the Eastern Conference, Joe?
It's going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to the Florida Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. That rivalry is so hot, and I do think this will be an explosive one. Right away, you look at all of these totals coming out. We're getting 5.5s, which is typical of playoff hockey. But I think if you're looking at any of the matchups to have more fireworks, have more goals, it would be the Florida Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning do have an elite power play. That's the best power play in the league. But the Florida Panthers defense and goaltending is so phenomenally strong. But I do think we could see in this one, you've got Nikita Kucherov. He hit his 100 assists last night. You got Steven Stamkos, Braden Point. We've got so many offensive weapons here on the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers as well, with Matthew Tkachuk and all of the supporting cast. I do think here it would be one where if you're looking for higher scoring, at least to start this series, that's where I'm at. Looking at the other matchups, I think the Washington Capitals pushed so hard to get into the playoffs. They have an extremely hard matchup here versus the New York Rangers. I think the Rangers probably take that one in 5. The Capitals, while Ovechkin's been incredible, I don't think they can compete with a team like the New York Rangers, but there's some disrespect being thrown out there on some of these lines. You look at the New York Islanders plus 275 on the money line in that first game versus the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes coming in at minus 350. You've got to look at what the Islanders have been able to do down the stretch here. Patrick Waugh has this team so locked in and focused. I do think the Islanders are a sneaky look, especially in game 1 of that series, to pull off the upset. Except I do think the Canes take it over the 7 games. I think they take it probably in 6, you guys.
All right, well, looking at the Eastern Conference odds here, the Hurricanes are well at the top, followed by the Panthers, the Rangers, the Boston Bruins, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the aforementioned New York Islanders, and the Caps all the way down at 60-1. Are any of these odds wrong? Are any of these that we have posted on the FanDuel Sportsbook, do you think they are bettable? Where are we going with the Eastern Conference betting board?
Yeah, looking at the Eastern Conference, the Carolina Hurricanes here as the favorite. I understand why. This team is loaded on both sides of the puck. My problem comes here with goaltending. Now, Frederik Andersen has been phenomenal since coming back from injury, but if he goes down there, I just don't have the faith in the Carolina Hurricanes backup goaltending. So for me, there's no value on betting Carolina. The Florida Panthers here, we know how strong this team is. They've been locking down on the defensive side. I just don't love the value at plus 330. I'd be looking at the New York Rangers. I love goaltending here with Igor Shesterkin. I love what they have on both sides of the puck going for them, and I think they have an opportunity to make a deep run again this season. But if you're looking for a value play here, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning. If they can get past the Florida Panthers, I do think the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 1,000 have every opportunity of pushing this one nice and deep here. Yes, everyone talks about this is an older team, but being an older team out here, they have the experience to handle that pressure. Igor Shesterkin's absolutely phenomenal in goal. So if they make it out of the first round, you guys, I will be coming in on a little sprinkle on the Tampa Bay Lightning because of the value we're getting on them here.
Eastern Conference set in stone here. We know the matchups. The Western Conference still a little bit up for grabs in the last night of play tonight in the NHL. If we're looking right now at the current standings here, the Stars versus the Kings. Now, that can change based on the parameters tonight, as well as the Canucks Predators, Jets Avalanche, and also still up in the air, the Oilers and the Golden Knights. Talk to us about the playoff picture in the Western Conference before we hit the odds itself, some playoff scenarios that could be quite fun to watch on TV.
I think the most interesting matchup will be the matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets. You look at that battle there, and Colorado, they are the favorite going into that series. My issue with Colorado, again, is the goaltending. Georgiev doesn't he does get support by his defense, but not as much support as we do see out of the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Winnipeg Jets at the trade deadline loaded up on their team. They were able to add Tyler Toffoli, which is a fantastic closer. I do think the Winnipeg Jets have every opportunity of stealing that series between them and Colorado. You look at the goaltending there, Connor Hellebuck and Boussoit, the backup goaltender for them. That combo is absolutely deadly out there on the ice. So I think that's going to be a fantastic one. We'll see what Edmonton has. I worry about Edmonton going deep because of their goaltending. A lot of this does come down to goaltending for me. You look at Stuart Skinner in there, and he has looked great down the stretch, but he has been getting a lot of support from his forwards. We need the forwards back checking out there. Connor McDavid needs to play both sides of the puck. If Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman, if they all come out and play strong, they play both ways, Edmonton has every opportunity of pushing it deep, getting past that first round, getting past the Kings or the Vegas Golden Knights, whoever they end up matched up with. But they have to play both sides of the puck, you guys.
Great stuff all the way through. Quickly here, the Western Conference odds. The favorite are the Avalanche at a plus 370 price. Oilers and Stars 4-1. Golden Knights plus 550. Who in your mind here, Joe, is going to be able to win the Western Conference?
I got to look here at the Winnipeg Jets or the Vancouver Canucks. I think both of these teams, we might get a Canadian team winning the Western Conference this season. I think both of them have every ability. Demko is back for the Vancouver Canucks. And while they've had some struggles down the stretch here, I do think they can get it turned back on as long as they come out strong in this first round of the series. I think we got it.
Fantastic stuff all the way around. Joe Madden, thanks for joining us this morning on the early line, helping us know the stakes tonight in the NHL and also who might win the Eastern and the Western Conference. Great stuff all the way around.